Number 1. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to Intervlog, the channel where we shine a light on transformative projects across Africa, celebrating innovation, resilience, and leadership. Today, our journey takes us to the fertile plains of Fakouna, in the Bankui region of Burkina Faso, where history is being written, not with ink and paper, but with seeds, water, and the dedication of thousands of farmers guided by the vision of President Captain Ibrahim Traoré. What we are witnessing in Fakouna is nothing short of extraordinary. More than 500 tons of rice are expected from this lush green valley. This is not just a harvest, it is a statement, a declaration that Burkina Faso is ready to feed its people, reduce dependency on imports, and show Africa what is possible when leadership, policy, and hard work meet on the fertile soils of the continent. The Fakuna rice lowlands, stretching over 126 hectares, of which 76 hectares are currently under cultivation, present a picture that is both breathtaking and hopeful. Walking through the fields, one cannot help but notice how fresh, how vibrant, and how deeply green the rice plants appear. The air itself seems richer, filled with the promise of abundance. This is not the story of a few isolated farmers working in obscurity. This is the story of 424 producers, united under the Carawan Cooperative, among them 130 women, demonstrating the power of inclusion and collective effort. Their combined dedication has brought us to this historic moment where Burkina Faso is preparing for a rice harvest that will not only meet domestic needs, but also challenge the notion that Africa must remain dependent on imported rice from Asia or elsewhere. When a field looks as fresh and healthy as Fakuna's does, the result is already half written. As the Minister of State for Agriculture, Animal Resources, and Fisheries, Commander Ismail Sombier, put it, "We came to encourage you to continue this momentum, because when a job is well done, we invite ourselves to come and see for ourselves." This expected harvest of 504 tons of rice is not just a statistic. It is the largest recorded from a single site in West Africa's current season. When multiplied across the broader agricultural offensive launched by President Traoré's government, it could well be the beginning of Africa's biggest rice revolution. For decades, Africa has imported millions of tons of rice annually, draining valuable foreign reserves that could have been used for schools, hospitals, and infrastructure. But Burkina Faso is now saying, no more. This harvest is set to break records, and not just in numbers, but in symbolism. It demonstrates that with the right seeds, like TS2 and Oralux, combined with yields of up to 4 tons per hectare, African farmers can compete with and even surpass the global rice leaders. The advantages of this project are multiple, and they extend far beyond the fields of Fakuna. Let us consider a few. Food security. With 504 tons of rice expected, Burkina Faso takes a giant step toward feeding its people. As the minister reminded, the goal is not 1 kilogram less than 7 million tons nationwide this season. Every grain harvested is a grain of sovereignty. Economic independence. By producing rice locally, Burkina Faso reduces the burden of imports, saving scarce foreign exchange. Imagine the relief for the treasury when fewer ships carrying foreign rice dock at African ports. Job creation. More than 424 producers are directly engaged in Fakuna. Add to this the transporters, millers, traders, and retailers who benefit downstream, and you begin to see how a single rice field can feed not only the stomachs, but also the pockets of a nation. Empowerment of women. With 130 women farmers active in this cooperative, the project affirms the truth that when women rise, entire families and communities rise with them. Inspiration for Africa. Fakuna is not just for Burkina Faso. It is a mirror for West Africa, for Africa as a whole. It says to Senegal, to Ghana, to Nigeria, to Côte d'Ivoire, and beyond. If Burkina Faso can, so can you. As Intervlog, we often use parables to simplify what may seem complex. Let us share a few here. When one ant finds a grain, the colony eats. When one leader shows the way, a continent follows. President Ibrahim Traoré has found the grain of sovereignty, and it is called rice. A river that waters only one farm dries in vain. A river that waters many feeds a nation. Fakuna's rice is not for one village. It is for Burkina Faso, for West Africa, for Africa's dignity. The bird that builds its nest in the dry season will not fear the rains. By planting rice today, Burkina Faso ensures it will not fear tomorrow's hunger. This is where the story becomes continental. Intervlog does not speak only to Burkina Faso, we speak to Africa. We ask, why should Africa, with its rivers, valleys, and fertile lands, continue to rely on imports? Why should billions of dollars flow out of Africa each year for rice that could be grown in Fakouna, in Kano, in Sikasso, in Gambia, or in the Nile Delta? Burkina Faso is showing us the way. President Ibrahim Traoré has declared that the goal is food self-sufficiency, and he has backed words with tractors, fertilizers, and seeds. The government has promised that Sonages will buy produce on-site, cash in hand, ensuring that farmers are not just celebrated in words, but rewarded in reality. This is the kind of leadership Africa has long yearned for: practical, immediate, and visionary. The Fakuna rice lowlands are currently cultivated by 424 farmers. Of the 126 hectares available, 76 have been developed this season. Yields are expected to average 4 tons per hectare, producing an estimated 504 tons. The varieties used are TS2 and Oralux, known for resilience and productivity. This is the raw data. It is verifiable, measurable, and real. But when one considers these figures against the broader goal of 7 million tons nationally, the story acquires its true weight. Fakuna is not the end. It is the beginning. It is a spark that could light an agricultural revolution. Already, the delegation led by Minister Sombier has toured maize farms in Kamako and Kunadia, as well as a poultry farm in Masala. Each of these adds a chapter to Burkina Faso's larger story of food sovereignty. But rice, because of its cultural and dietary importance, remains at the center. Rice is Africa's favorite grain. It is on our tables during celebrations, in our kitchens on ordinary days, and in the bowls of our children when they go to school. To control rice is to control hunger itself. At Intervlog, we look at Fakuna, and we see not just green fields, but a green revolution. We see not just 504 tons of rice, but 504 tons of dignity, of independence, of pride. President Captain Ibrahim Traoré has not simply given Burkina Faso rice, he has given Africa an example that proves that the soil beneath our feet is enough if only we dare to till it with courage and vision. As one final parable, the tree that grows in your yard will never shade you if you keep longing for the forest abroad. Africa's rice is here, in Fakuna, in our valleys, in our rivers. We need not look elsewhere. So to every African leader we say, look at Traoré, learn from Traoré, copy Traoré. Because in the rice fields of Fakuna, the future is already being harvested. And to our viewers across the continent and beyond, welcome to a new chapter. A chapter where Africa feeds itself, not with borrowed hands, but with its own strength. This is Intervlog, and this is history in the making. This is the end of our program today. See you on Intervlog, same time tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon to get new video updates. Thank you for watching Intervlog. Thank you.